You are listening to Indie Soul Rhythms with Moochie Alfonso.
It's good for us, and it's good for me, yeah.
The show that brings you the very best in Indie Soul. It's probably the grooviest show on the planet.
Hey everybody, welcome to Indie Soul Rhythms. Today we are thrilled to have with us songwriter, actress, speaker, author, and a third of legendary En Vogue, Rhona Bennett.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for
Hey,
having
it's
me.
such a pleasure to have you here, and I'm sure our listeners are eager to hear your story. Shall we dive into it?
Let's get it.
Right. I always like starting from the very beginning. So can you start by telling us about your musical background, how it all started, and what inspired you to be a musician or an artist?
OMG, how do I put it in simpler terms? I would say that I got bitten by the entertainment bug at a really young age.
Yeah.
I used to be in my parents' basement in Chicago, Illinois, in America, and where other people would see a wall, I could see a theater
Oh,
of
wow.
boring fans, right? Just kind of celebrating whatever I was doing in my imaginary world. I had this wild imagination, and my parents frequently would be telling me to be quiet. But when I went down to Alabama in
Mm,
the summer with my sister, we used to go down there and visit our, grandparents and our cousins. My maternal grandmother used to take care of foster children, and my cousins would come over and we would all hang out. And somehow I would end up putting together these talent shows. And at the end of the summer, our parents and whoever else wanted to come, they could come and see what we were doing. And
mm,
my grandmother was the one that told them, hey, maybe you want to pay attention to Rhona. There's something there. And so that, my mom took that more seriously. My dad did. And I started to sing in the choir. And then I had a really pivotal conversation with my mom when I was about 10 years old. She remembers it very vividly because she's big on education. And so she had that, the age old conversation. What do you want to do when you grow up?
yeah.
And I told her that I wanted to be a singer like Whitney Houston. And so, of course, she's like, okay, that's nice, but what's your plan B?
Yeah.
And I basically, like, I don't have a plan B. That's what I want to do. And she told me that I turned to her very seriously. And I remember it vaguely, but she says, very seriously, I
Mm,
said, Mom, what can you do for me? And that's when she knew that this kid was serious. And she's like, all right, we got to figure something out. And so we just kind of asked our way into the business because my parents had nothing to do with the fine arts. And I ended up in my first play at 11 years old. And it just kind of took off from there.
amazing.
Mhm.
So can you tell us who some of the artists that had the most significant impact on you as you developed as an artist?
Definitely Whitney Houston, her,
Yeah.
I remember seeing her perform on, I think it was the video for Saving All My Love for You. I think she's at the microphone, right? Isn't
What a
she standing?
classic.
Yes. And her swan-like beauty and, her vocals were so pristine and clear and strong to me, and it was mesmerizing for
Yeah.
me to watch. And so she definitely was very influential in just having me dream about it. And possibly because she was a slender person. I was very skinny. I used to be, insecure when I was younger. And
Mm,
so seeing someone being slender and fabulous quite possibly was impressionable
mm,
on me too. Definitely the Gap Band. That was one of my mom's favorite groups. I grew up on their vinyl. Um, Marvin Gaye was my mom's favorite, male artist.
mm.
My dad used to listen to country, So and then as a Mouseketeer, I used to listen to a variety of artists because, we were multicultural.
Yeah.
So a lot of people at some point have touched me in some way, even like the Brand New Heavies. Do you remember that group?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I used to love the Brand New Heavies. I loved Kenny Loggins. So just lots of people,
Oh,
at some
amazing.
point.
Amazing.
Definitely.
So can you walk us through your creative process and how it shapes your music?
Ooh, I wish I could tell you that I had like a specific process.
Hmm.
I would say that I just work the best when I'm inspired. So even for this project that I have currently, Instant Classic,
Mm,
I'm working in my solo element, if you will, um, I wanted to have something to complement the book that's coming, Saving Your Soul. It's the second edition. It's a mentorship book for people in the industry at
Mm.
all stages of their career. And I was like, oh, it'd be cool to have a single to complement when the book comes out. But once I got into the creative process, all of these messages started to download
Wow.
because I'm a coach. And I was like, wouldn't it be cool if the messages that I have as Coach Ro came through the artist, Miss R&B? And until I finished getting out the messaging, I was inspired to create music. And once the messaging turned off, I didn't want to go in the studio again. Like I
Wow.
was, yeah.
Wow. So not only are you a music artist, but you're also an actress, and you've already talked about writing and being a coach. You're also a
Yeah.
speaker. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you balance all this?
That's a good question. I don't know if it's ever balanced. I think that I'm finding harmony with
Yeah.
it, where they can all coexist in the same space or at different times. I was just expressing recently that I was a little tapped energetically, tapped out,
Right.
because I bounce, so much between the logic and the creative
Yeah.
brain. I think
Yeah.
logic, you're right. So, but it's just finding harmony with it. And as I continue to explore my ambition, what it needs to look like today, and then what it needs to look like when the next today is today.
Mm.
I'm just finding it as I go along.
Oh, wow. Got a couple
Mhm.
fun questions.
Yeah.
Um, is there anyone you would trade places with for a day?
No. You know why? Because I
Yeah.
don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. They really
Very true.
fabulous. And behind the scenes, they're like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I'll take my walk every day.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And regarding your career as a musician, actress, coach, what's the best compliment you've ever received?
Oh, wow. Wow, that just went because that's like so many different areas of my
Yeah.
life.
Pick
Trying to
one.
think, like I just got something recently that made my heart smile. But because I can't think of anything specific in the moment, I will
Mm.
just say when I get the feedback from the students that come through through Personal Power University, my coaching school,
Yeah.
when I get feedback that something I've said or something that I'm doing has created breakthrough in a way that it's changing their life for the better, it's up leveling their quality of living and thinking and being, that warms my heart like nobody's business because
Yeah.
that's good heart for me. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
If there are three people you hope to collaborate with, who might that be?
The first person that comes to the top of my mind is El DeBarge. I love his songwriting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I love El DeBarge. I love his catalog. I like his unique tone. Um, I just that the group DeBarge was one of my favorites, and El by himself is one of my favorites. Um, You know who just bubbled up to my mind to say, who I've never said before? Her.
Oh,
I think
wow.
she's a dope songwriter.
Yeah.
I like her tone as well. She's one of the newer artists, although she's been around now, but she's,
Yeah.
it's like Elle and her.
Mm.
I think she's dope. And then, of course, I got to go with one of my favorites, D'Angelo.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I really dig D'Angelo, his catalog and everything for the same reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. And
Mhm.
yeah, so now we're going to talk about your new project, the Instant Classics. Can you tell us, well, you kind of touched on it, but what does the album itself represent?
Instant Classic represents, yes, my messaging as a coach, Coach Ro,
Mm.
coming through me as an artist, Miss R&B. It's my dual passions
Hmm.
coming together to make a thing. So this is my current art at the moment. And I'm hoping that everybody who listens to the record not only enjoys the melodies
Yeah.
and the songwriting and the feel of everything, but that they also walk away with something that feeds them, feeds their soul.
Wow.
Yeah.
We eagerly look forward to the Instant Classic. Do you have a date when it's going to come out?
You know, I've been doing something that I call, or I've learned to call, single stacking.
Yeah.
So just especially since we're in this new music era where people consume things so quickly and they're done, right?
Yes.
Whereas before, I feel like if you got an album, because it wasn't so readily available through social media, people sat with it and they explored the tracks and they took their time with it because,
Yeah.
you couldn't just hop on the internet and somebody else was talking about it. So I am piecemealing, giving a piece of it until probably the fourth quarter of
Sure.
this year. People can get it as a collector's item on vinyl, and they will be able to download it digitally and stream it. So I
Amazing.
would
Yeah.
say November-ish, you
Okay.
can see the whole project
No,
reveal
I,
its.
I can understand because I'm also a curator, so I get sent through a lot of singles to kind of review and give feedback, and
Yeah,
it's just amazing. Like, in a week, I'm receiving in excess of 20, 30 singles,
yeah,
and out of that, I've got to pick a few that I can then actually put on my show because not all of them are that good, but it's just the industry is flooded with music.
yeah.
It's very instant at the moment. So do you have any final words for our listeners or aspiring artists?
Well, I have, yes. First, what wants to come out of my mouth is thank you to you. Just in you even sharing what you just shared. The fact that my music was able to cut through and we were able to connect in that way,
Yeah,
uh, special to me. So thank you so much for supporting the project and the stuff that's come through your ears, your listening pleasure, hopefully.
thank you.
To up and coming artists, I would say keep honing your craft. Keep doing the work that people don't see so that you can show up more confidently in how you deliver what you do.
Mhm.
Uh, Being willing to collaborate with other people, maybe that aren't even in the same genre of music, so
Yeah,
that you can keep stretching in your creativity and how what you do can be delivered, and stay consistent. Keep knocking on the thing,
yeah,
eventually be like water, if you will. You know how water is not like a super, it can be aggressive,
and
but
it can be
it's
smooth.
flexible unless it's in a frozen state.
Yeah,
But be like water when it's in a relaxed state. And eventually it's going to get around the cracks and crevices. It's going to flow over or under what it needs to get to its destination.
yeah.
Stay consistent.
Truly wise words there. Thank
Thank
you
you.
again for joining us, and it's been a real pleasure having you on Indie Soul Rhythms. And we hope we can have you back again when Instant Classic drops. But before we let you go, please do us
Yes.
the honor of introducing your new single, All on You.
Ooh, thank you so much to Moochie Alfonso for having me on Indie Soul Rhythms show. I appreciate the support. I hope you guys enjoy this. It's my latest single for Rhona Bennett, Miss R&B, Coach Ro. Message, all on you.